Down at my A-Bay self-serve car wash to make the first collection of the month. Last month we did phenomenal numbers, so I decided to actually take some of those profits and reinvest them into my business by upgrading some of my self-serve bays. And in doing so, I have to prep my bays by taking everything down and basically making the walls bare so I can put new paneling on the walls. And one of the most difficult things about this is these old vaults that are in the wall. I actually have to take those out as well. Whenever I originally renovated this property, I just left them. These vaults actually have tubing in the walls that went to a old meter box, the old selector here for your functions in the bay. People put their coin in, then it would drop down here. But these were kind of a hassle to remove at the time, so I just painted over them and closed them. So I took one out a couple weeks ago, and it actually did end up having some old coin in it. I guess I forgot to collect it at the time. But just yesterday, we removed the second one, and as they started knocking it out, coin just started falling everywhere. And I thought I'd clean them out, but I have to bust them out in order to get the coverings flush. And holy crap. I guess I forgot to clean these suckers out. Dang. This is the hole that we're trying to fill so we can actually put the paneling over it. But as they knocked it out, coin from many, many, many years past just started falling out and falling out. It had somehow bypassed the old meter box, and as it got down here to the vault, it was just falling to the side. So I actually will have some extra coin that I'm going to count up today. There's a lot of dollar coins and quarters, but there also is a little bit of token in there as well. So we'll count that up in this video, as well as the normal cash collection. It's really kind of neat seeing these bays come together. It does kind of suck walking by the old ones and seeing how terrible they look in comparison to these new ones, but sooner or later they'll all be done. I'm doing about one of these a week. These are costing me about $1,650 for the material and another probably $600 to $800 in labor. So I think with all that coin I found, it'll definitely pay for at least one of those bays getting redone, but we'll definitely see as we count that up later in the video. It's also been a lot slower, which has been kind of nice, so I can actually do some of these upgrades, but at the same time, I sure wish it was as busy as it was last month. Not too bad. This is my least busiest bay. That is simply because it is the farthest out of the way. It's not straight in line with the entrance to the car wash. Looks like a bill might have got jammed up in this one. But it's a lot slower than it was last month if you've been following my videos. We didn't have any winter weather this month, so everything's been a lot slower. We had a lot of rain at the beginning of the month, probably 7 days worth of rain. So if you watch these videos, my videos enough, this will give you a very good idea of how drastically weather can change your revenue at a car wash. So if you're interested in getting into this business, it's definitely something to consider. I definitely don't have to plan out my expenses or save for slow months like some people might have to in other regions, other markets, but revenue does definitely change. Not too bad. This is for about 10 days worth of revenue. Oh wow, that's actually really good. But on a positive note, we've got really good weather for the rest of the month, like 70-degree weather. So hopefully we can do decent on revenue. Last year I did 32,000 in March. I definitely don't think I'm going to come close to that this month, but you never know. After today, I'll have 4 of these bays, 4 of my 8 bays completed. As for the new coverings on the walls and my new setup. So that'll be really, really nice. Only another $8,000 to finish the rest. No big deal. Good thing I made all that money last month. Let's see what we got here. Not too bad. No two-handers yet. And we'll go ahead and bury that cash like we always do. I like to make things harder on myself. Another decent little... Seems like there's a little more cash in these than usual. I wonder if that's because customers are liking this new setup that I've got in the bays over here, and they're using these a little bit more. Got my guys working in this next bay, so I'm gonna try to squeeze around them. This one's been shut down for just a day, so should have some decent revenue in here. This is my busiest bay. Not really looking good on the coin, honestly. Definitely not a two-hander. Cash is decent. Let's move on to the coin-only bays. So yeah, you can see how vastly different these look. You know, and that price on redoing those bays doesn't even include any of the signage in the bays. I basically have to abandon all this signage because it breaks apart whenever you know, they go to remove it. So gonna get all new signage. Don't even know what that'll cost. Gonna make it look real nice and hopefully boost revenue. Not really sure, you know, if that'll attract more customers or not, but it'll make me feel better about my business, looking nice and clean and inviting. Oh yeah, this one's pretty decent here. Might squeeze by this lady over here. This one's all right. All right. Bucket's getting a little heavy. It's always a good sign. Second to last one. You know what? I know why one of those stacks of cash was so fat in one of those bays. Because if you watch my last video, you'll remember that I forgot to collect it. That's why that was so fat in that number 6 bay. All right, last one. Get this to the office and count it out. Okay, so as I said, I also have all this coin that I found inside of that wall. Now, when I collected all that, it was just mixed with all of the concrete chunks and debris, and so it took me about 2 hours to clean it all out, and I basically just ended up having to dump it on the floor. Okay, so I got a system. Making some headway here. And clean it out handful at a time. And this is all the remnants of it. So I had to get all that crap separated out from that coin, which, I mean, I'm not complaining I found the coin, but it sure was a pain in the butt. And then I had to dry it out, so I stuck it in front of a fan. I separated it out in 2 buckets to dry it out because I can't actually sort it in the coin sorter if it's all wet. It just won't work. The friction is gone and it won't push the coins through. So we're also going to count this up and see how much money I basically just inherited from inside of that wall. Let's go ahead and count this up, and then we will move on to counting the coin from the base. So there's really not an easy way to do this. I started trying to do this already, and the problem is there's 3 different coins that came out of that wall. There's dollar coins, which is awesome. There's quarters, and then there is actually some token in there. And this coin sorter, I don't think it's designed to separate 3 of these. The problem is they're all different sizes. So some of these get all hung up. So I'm going to try my best to separate this out off camera and get the tokens out of the equation because they're basically valueless. No one cares how many tokens I found in that wall. And then I'll just cut right to counting up the dollars from that wall and the quarters. Okay, so here's all the dollar coins, minus a few of those I'm going to keep for myself. Don't tell the tax man. I'll go ahead and count these up. These things are pretty disgusting. Really not easy to count either because, one, they are disgusting and all gunked up, and 2, they are a little bit wet still. So counter doesn't like that. Oh. 2 more. $408 tokens. Now I got to count up the quarters. So when I got to the editing table for this video, I decided to just scrap 90% of the footage for the quarters. As you saw how difficult it was for the dollar coins, the quarters were even worse because there was that many more of them to deal with. And the footage totaled about 19 minutes just for counting the quarters. So I'm going to go ahead and skip ahead to the very last part where we get the total number of quarters I actually found inside that wall. $5,978 quarters found hidden in the wall of my car wash. 5,978 divided by 4, $1,494.50 plus the dollar coins that were found, which were what, like $400 and something dollars? I'd have to go back and look at the tape. I can't remember. I know it was $400 and something dollars. So almost $2,000 hidden in the walls at my car wash. And the interesting thing is I have 2 more of those vaults that need to be knocked out. And I'm kind of curious if the same situation happened where that tube that funnels down into them got jacked up and the coins just started falling to the side. Now that would be pretty awesome if so. Let's count up the actual coin from the bays. Okay, so I separated the tokens and the quarters from the bays, and this is what I'm left with. A gallon jug full and a gallon jug a little over half full. No Cafe Du Monde canisters. Go ahead and guess how much you think that is. Let's go ahead and count these. So much faster. I need a cameraman. I don't have enough hands. Oh. I saw some tokens squeak by, and we do not want those. Someone got me for someone else's token. My machines aren't supposed to accept those, so someone got one over on me. Crap. Uh-oh. Another token. Yeah, this counter, I mean, it works good, but sometimes even quarters will end up in the token stash and vice versa. So I try to get them all out before I refill my tokens, and sometimes a couple quarters end up in there, and then customers are like, hey, I put $1 in and it gave me a quarter. They think I'm trying to rip them off. So this thing is this thing's needing an upgrade. 3232. 3,232 divided by 4. $808 in quarters from the bays. Didn't even collect the vacuums. That's strictly from the bays. Now I've got to get the cash from the bill changer. Okay, tokens are pretty low. This is feeling pretty heavy. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I think that bay that I forgot to collect 10 days ago really helped make this stack feel a little less thin. It's looking good so far. Oh yeah, not bad. Not too bad at all. Look at that. Slide those tax evasive dollar coins out of the way there. It's a pretty healthy little stack for 10 days. So we've got everything collected, everything counted up, except for the bills. I have to take those back to my office and count them up. Pretty awesome little find in the wall. I can't believe there was almost $2,000 in there. If anybody's a CPA out there, let me know. Do I have to claim that? I mean, it's technically not really my business revenue. I sort of just found it. Either way, awesome. I feel like it's going to be a little bit lighter of a month, so that definitely helps cover some of the expense of redoing these bays. But let's take this cash back to my office, count it up, and see how well we're doing for the month of March. All right. That's what I'm talking about. Don't fail me now. Do the old flipperoo. See if it works. All right. All in all, this is going smoothly. Come on, baby girl, don't fail me now. Ugh. Okay, now we're gonna take this whole stack . $511 plus the few reject bills because it recounted most of them. So there actually only ended up being $5 in reject bills, which brings my cash total to $2,516, plus my coin, which was $808, brings my cash total to $3,324. Now I've got to add in the credit from the automatics and the credit from the self-serve bays. The credit from the self-serve bays was $1,966.15, and the credit from the automatic was $1,068, bringing my total for the month to $6,358.15. Now I know I had an extra roughly $2,000 in found money, but I don't think I'd feel good about myself if I added that to the revenue total for this month. The only thing I'd hope for is these nice days ahead actually get me closer to my previous month's total for last year. of $32,000. It's not looking like it, but that's why weather can drastically affect the self-serve business. So if you've got any questions about real estate investing, car washes, drop it in the comments down below. As always, thanks for watching. Till next time.